Hello, everybody. Welcome to Energy News Beat Podcast. My name is Stu Shirley, President and CEO of the Sandstone Group. We are here live on the NAPE floor, and we have people walking up and yelling and saying, "Hi, Dan, how are you from Gumbo Curve? Yeah, go down, Gumbo Curve." And I'll tell you what, I have had an absolute blast visiting with CEOs and people. And last night, Steve Reese with Reese Consulting, CEO. We had wonderful podcast with him. It was phenomenal. And there's no pressure on this next interview coming up. He has some of the best knowledgeable people in the industry because they're one of the biggest dogs on the planet in natural gas and midstream and everything else. And if you want to know anything about that kind of field, you got to know Reese Consulting. I have right here, Director of Liquids Marketing. I have Kim McGinty. Welcome.
Thank you.
Oh, I'll tell you what, we had fun at dinner last night.
So fun. Very fun.
It was. Actually, I learned more about you guys than I care to.
That's not surprising with our group.
And then we have Kimberly Page. How are you today? And you're in the business development. You get the job of facing Steve when there's no business.
I do. And that's no fun.
Oh, no.
So I haven't seen it, but I don't want to. I always want to have him business ready to go. Is that better?
Yes. I didn't have to say snickerdoodle or anything like that. No.
The key word.
Absolutely.
Correct. I am in business development and certainly love being a part of the group. And oh my gosh, are you messing with me again? It's not even that so fast. No, I love being there. We have a great team, and we're going to talk some this morning about that team and what all we're doing at Reese.
What are you seeing in the markets? Because it's business development. You have to understand what's going on in order to understand what your customers need.
That's exactly right. I think something that is a telltale is being at this convention today.
Isn't that fun?
It is, and we're learning a lot about what people's needs are. I mean, It's been fantastic to talk to so many different people and learn where their fears are, what they need help with, things they didn't know that we even did. We were able to explain to them our services, our new services,
Isn't that great?
Our current services and our new services. And Kim's going to kind of get us kicked off with a little bit of a story about us.
Oh, fantastic. Now, by the way, yesterday it was busy from a business development. I heard great things from you. It was always full over there.
It was.
It was great. And one of the things that we talked about last night at dinner too was that we were so surprised at how many people came up to our booth to meet Steve Reese personally.
Great.
Because he sends out these weekly updates. He'll give like the EIAs, the DOEs. He gives all of the pricing. He gives projections. I mean, he gives really great emails. So anyone who's not on that, they really need to contact probably Stormy or Kimberly.
We'll have all that in the show notes and more.
I'm telling you, his information is fantastic, and it comes from a plethora of sources, which he cites. But we had so many people that came up to the booth that wanted to meet him because they have been following him for years from his articles, but he's just gone through a 2-year personal journey to battle cancer and AFib, spent time out at the Mayo, lost his daughter, Angelina. So a lot of people came up and wanted to reach out to him just to say how he has impacted their lives and changed their businesses and, impacted their lives personally because of his personal journey, but has improved their business and helped them so much just with the information he provides in those articles.
I'm getting all teary-eyed here, and I don't want to cry in front of everybody, but Steve means the world to me too. And his testimony, you don't understand what you're going through is helping others. And so selfishly, praying for somebody like that helps you out. And it was so wonderful. And I want to give Steve a shout out for the simple fact that when he commented on one of my posts, I had a very high and tight skin to my podcast listeners, flesh colored. And he goes, "That's a beautiful dome hat, dome hat. Love the dome hat." And instead of I was sitting there going, I didn't have a heart. Oh, it was the like no hair. So Steve Reese, I love you. You have a sense of humor.
Good man.
But let's talk about the liquids and what's going on there. You're working on some big deals.
We are. We have started offering some new services. We have all of the services we've always been providing, which Kimberly will go over, but we've offered some new services now. Steve used to go into One Oak and Chesapeake and Devon, and he used to do these classes.
Right.
And so Energy Rogue reached out to Steve, or vice versa. I'm not sure how that worked, but
Right.
in partnership with Energy Rogue, we have now taken all of these classes and put them online. He has his natural gas basics class. I do a midstream and NGL basics class. We
Nice.
have a gas transportation and storage class, as well as gas compression and contracts class.
Nice.
And all of those are going to be put online that companies can purchase. And the great thing, I went to one of his years ago, probably 10 years ago, when he was giving it at One Oak in person. And I was shocked at the diversity of the class. We had everyone in there from attorneys to
Nice.
buyers to traders to distribution, because he kind of covers literally it's the basics. It's from the wellhead to
Right.
the end user, and he goes through all of that. And there's little questions that he asks, and it's interactive. But you will get this class online. A
Right.
company can buy it and provide that to new hires, provide it to people. There are a lot of traders out there that have never done distribution.
Yeah.
If you don't know how something gets from point A to point B, there's a little.
Did you just do a Scooby or a Yoda? I'm not sure.
The best traders have been a scheduler before.
Yeah.
So, they know the whole flow of everything.
Isn't that great?
Yeah. And so all of those classes are going to be available online. And the other thing that we're offering that's new is there was a need for brokering services. One of the things that we have done for years is we've offered marketing services.
Yep.
We have Julius and Phil and Rick, who are very well versed in natural gas. And then Phil and I do the oil.
George,
Phil.
Yes.
whatever his name was.
And Julia. So we do marketing for people. Like we'll do like market their gas or market their fuel. But all of a sudden people started saying, well, do you do crude? Do you import? Do you export? So we've started
Nice.
brokering services. That's a new thing. Kimberly will go over what we've been doing for years, which is sort of the bread and butter of Reese Consulting.
Right.
But one of the new services is I'm kind of doing brokering for him. And that is we're importing crude from Mexico. We're exporting ULSD and diesel, and we're kind of getting involved in some jet, which is a little scary, but
Yeah.
it's a new service we're providing. We have people that will have known Steve for years, and they'll come to him and they'll say, hey, do you have any access to crude? And he's like, no, we don't really do that. And we're like, hey, do you have any access to?
Hey, I don't know whether or not Steve would go A or the purple wave.
Yeah.
I mean, if he
I don't, but I'll figure that out for you.
yeah,
And
his
yeah.
wife, Italian,
Yeah.
hey, she knows where the bodies are. Hey, I bet he can do that. Yeah, you get to
We'll be right on that.
And we're offering that now. He listened to the people, and so that's a new service we're providing.
Isn't that great?
It is fantastic.
That is. Well, Kimberly, what are some of the other stuff you guys do?
One of the big things we do that Kim was just talking about also is the energy marketing services that we offer. But in addition to that, we have producer services.
Nice.
To give you a little bit of my background, which I did, you just had made mention that
Smile for a picture.
the thing that you mentioned a while ago about the best traders were schedulers one time. My background, which I've been in the natural gas side of the business since the early 90s. That's more than 30 years ago now. But I started out as a scheduler and then went into trading from there, natural gas. So I worked my way through from that into the CTRM world, commodity trading and risk management world, and never did forget my producer services hat at all. And here
Wow.
I am getting to go out and sell it, and nothing makes me more happy. And I certainly enjoy it, and I enjoy doing it for Steve. But some of the many things that we do for producers is we may do staff augmentation in that area, meaning you have small producer that really can't afford a full-time scheduler.
Oh,
Perhaps we can come in and do that scheduling for you. We have the skill set and the people that, like myself that have been in the industry for a long time. Kim and I were laughing. I don't think we have enough fingers, toes, or anything else to count up how many years of experience that we have put together in our
Well,
team. Steve has done
that's an
an
excuse, but I went to OSU, so I don't, I don't.
You don't
That's
need-
why you see a sooner could actually just put that in her head.
That's another thing Steve and I poke fun of all the time.
I'm Arkansas here, so.
Razorbacks have to use all.
That's right.
Of
That's
course,
right.
OSU did win the last Bedlam, so what a way to go out. That was bragging rights.
Out of
Here we
like
go.
10,000,
Uh-huh.
like 16 out of 10,000.
OSU actually has more national titles than OU.
How does that go against one another though?
I don't care.
Who cares about that statistic?
We're going to have you guys on another podcast, and we are going to talk about great teamwork. And I love the banter between OU and OSU because I really don't care as long as it's an Oklahoma school.
Absolutely.
I want the best for Oklahoma. I want the best for Texas. But in a dogfight between Oklahoma and Texas, I'm kind of partial to Oklahoma. So,
I always say I will
but now I'm
my guns and wave my weed as long as it's not against the Sooners. I'm a Sooner girl. So
there's nothing wrong with that. You can get out of the podcast now.
I even cheer for OSU when they're playing Tulsa. I just, they're my second favorite team.
Well, and the fun thing is, Kimberly, you've got your work cut out for you, keeping Steve, and we want to help you get the word out. And so
Thank you.
we will do some more things for you and visit with you here in a little bit. We'll flag you when this goes out.
Thank you.
And I'm just honored to finally get to hug you guys.
Oh, it's been fun.
So
It's been
fun.
so fun.
This show has
one of
done wonders for all of us, including Steve.
Isn't that great?
It
Right?
is great. And one of the things that I think is that to kind of touch back on what Kimberly said is I have the fewest number of years in the business and on his team. Steve has assembled this team. I have 28 years in this business. Kimberly's been over 30. Steve's 45. We've got Phil, Julius. All of them are over 40 years.
You guys are lying because y'all don't look that way. Me, I look like I've been rode hard and just put up.
It's not true. Not true. No, but if there's any, that's one of the things that we've enjoyed about this trade show is people have come up and they're like, oh, you do auditing. Oh, you do marketing. Oh, you do, compression and gathering. And we have landman, we have engineering.
And the volume you guys audit in natural gas in the US is probably the largest portion out there. You guys do huge amounts of auditing.
Yeah. And
Yes.
and you know what Steve has started doing that is really good. Here at NAPE, you'll find that probably 80% of the people out here have maps up and they're trying to find investors
Right.
for their programs. So we kind of have an investor pool that have come to us either, through people,
Right.
like either Steve or myself or Kimberly or whomever, that are always looking for projects. So people are now coming to Reese and saying, hey, I have this project. I'm looking for an operating partner. I'm looking for an investor
Sweet.
partner, and we will take that to market for them.
Isn't that great?
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Hey,
And
I want to visit with you guys a little bit later. We do at Sandstone deal evaluations, and we go through and we have ripped apart a lot of deals where it is either a good deal, a bad deal, the flow, everything else, and all these kind of things, and any of the ENP M&As and anything. So, that'd be kind of fun to talk to
be
you.
a lot of fun.
Oh, absolutely. I hate selling to you guys, but it's kind of fun.
Steve's always buying.
No, he's not.
Just did it last night. That was all.
That was a heck of a dinner. though.
Heck of a dinner.
Yeah, I noticed he tried to give me the check, and it was like, holy smokes.
No, you can have it. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. I gave it the office. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we will have your LinkedIn profiles in the show notes and all the content. So with that, thank you to all of our wonderful listeners out there. Stay tuned. And I want to announce that we have just rolled out our 500th episode this week. So that's not bad for a year and a half.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I'm tired.
Go ahead.